In the late 1990s, the internet was beginning to change everything, but paying for things online was still a disaster. If you wanted to buy something from a stranger on the web, you usually had to mail a paper check and wait weeks for it to clear. Banks were slow, and fraud was everywhere. Two rival startups in Silicon Valley decided to solve this problem, but they didn't realize they were about to start a corporate war. That war would eventually create a group of billionaires known as the PayPal Mafia, who now run some of the biggest companies in the world. To understand how they took over the tech industry, we have to look at the business of digital money. Our story begins with Max Levchin, a young coder who had recently moved to California to start an internet company. In 1998, he attended a lecture by Peter Thiel, a hedge fund manager and investor. After the talk, Max pitched Peter an idea for security software on Palm Pilots, which were the first popular handheld computers. Peter liked Max's technical skills and gave him $100,000 to start a company called FieldLink. They soon realized that nobody wanted mobile security software, so they had to pivot their business model. They decided to build a mobile wallet that allowed Palm Pilot users to beam money to each other using infrared ports. They changed the company name to Confinity and named their payment app PayPal. While Confinity was trying to make money beaming work, a 27-year-old entrepreneur named Elon Musk was starting his own project. Elon had just made $22 million from selling his first company, Zip2. He believed the banking industry was outdated and wanted to create a digital super bank that offered everything from savings accounts to insurance. He invested $12 million of his own money into a new business called X.com. In a strange coincidence, X.com rented a small office right next door to Confinity in Palo Alto. The two teams often bumped into each other in the hallways, but they didn't think they were competitors yet. Both companies soon discovered a major flaw in their plans. Most people didn't own Palm Pilots, and Elon's digital bank was facing massive government regulations. During a late-night session, the Confinity team added a small feature that allowed users to send money via email. It was supposed to be a backup plan, but it became an instant hit because everyone already had an email address. At the same time, Elon realized that people were more interested in X.com's email payment tool than any of his other banking services. By the end of 1999, these two neighboring companies were offering the exact same product and were locked in a fight for survival. In Silicon Valley, there is a concept called the network effect, which means a service becomes more valuable as more people use it. Both PayPal and X.com knew that the first company to get the most users would win the entire market. To grow fast, they started a viral marketing campaign by literally giving away free money. PayPal offered $10 to anyone who signed up, plus another $10 for every friend they referred. X.com responded by offering $20 for sign-ups. This was a race to see who would run out of cash last. Both companies were losing a staggering amount of money every single day, just to acquire new customers. An unexpected boost came from the auction website eBay. eBay was a billion-dollar company, but it didn't have its own easy payment system. Buyers and sellers started using PayPal and X.com on their own because it was faster than mailing checks. The two startups shifted their entire focus to the eBay marketplace, fighting over every single user. The rivalry became so intense that the PayPal team brought out a cake that said, "Death to X.com." while Elon Musk told his team they had to kill PayPal. But the high costs of the war were destroying both businesses. PayPal was bleeding nearly $100,000 every day because of credit card fees and referral bonuses. By early 2000, both companies realized that if they didn't stop fighting, they would both go bankrupt. Peter Thiel and Elon Musk met to discuss a merger. The meeting was tense because of their big egos and different visions. Elon wanted X.com to be the main brand, while Peter and Max wanted to keep the PayPal name. After long negotiations and an ultimatum from the X.com CEO, Bill Harris, they agreed to a 50-50 merger in February 2000. The new combined company kept the name X.com, but the internal culture was deeply divided. The Confinity team used Linux, while the X.com team used Microsoft Windows, and the two systems didn't work well together. The merger didn't stop the internal drama, which turned into a corporate battle for leadership. Many employees were unhappy with the CEO, Bill Harris, because they felt he was moving too slowly. Elon Musk and Max Levchin conspired to have the board of directors remove Bill, and Elon took over as CEO in May 2000. However, Elon's leadership was also controversial. He wanted to replace the PayPal brand with the X brand and move the entire system to Windows NT, which the engineers believed was too unstable for a financial company. Tensions got so high that Peter Thiel actually resigned from the company. In September 2000, while Elon Musk was on a flight for his honeymoon in South Africa, a group of executives staged a second coup. Max Levchin and several others went to the board of directors and threatened to resign unless Elon was fired immediately. By the time Elon landed, the board had already replaced him with Peter Thiel as the new CEO. This was a turning point for the company. Under Peter's leadership, the team stopped trying to build a superbank and focused entirely on making PayPal the best email payment system in the world. Even with a stable leader, PayPal faced a massive threat from fraud. Because they made it so easy to sign up and gave away free money, they attracted thousands of scammers and hackers. Fraudsters used stolen identities and automated code to create fake accounts and cash out referral bonuses. A hacker named Igor was constantly attacking the system. Max Levchin made it his mission to stop them. He invented a system where users had to identify letters in a distorted image to prove they were human. This became the first popular captcha system used on the internet. PayPal's ability to use big data to detect fraud became their biggest competitive advantage. While fighting hackers, PayPal also had to fight eBay. eBay realized that PayPal was making a lot of money from its users and wanted that revenue for itself. eBay bought a rival payment service called BillPoint and tried to force sellers to use it. They restricted PayPal logos and made BillPoint the default option for Buy It Now auctions. But PayPal was faster and more innovative. They built tools that auto-completed eBay payment pages and offered cashback rewards to sellers who only used PayPal. Sellers preferred PayPal's simplicity, and by 2001, 70% of eBay sellers were using PayPal, compared to only 25% for eBay's own system. The final challenge was turning a profit. For years, PayPal had promised its service would be free forever, but they were losing millions in transaction fees. They eventually had to backtrack and force users to upgrade to paid business accounts. Users were furious, but because PayPal had already crushed its competition, there were no other good alternatives. This business move worked, and by the end of 2001, PayPal was generating over $13 million in quarterly revenue and was finally profitable. They decided it was time to take the company public. In February 2002, PayPal launched its initial public offering, or IPO, on the stock market. It was a risky time because the dot-com bubble had just burst, and many internet companies were going bankrupt. Despite the nervousness, the IPO was a huge success, and PayPal's value quickly climbed to over $1 billion. The team celebrated, but their independence wouldn't last long. eBay finally admitted they couldn't beat PayPal and offered to buy the company for $1.5 billion in July 2002. Most of the original PayPal team didn't want to work for a big traditional corporation like eBay. They enjoyed the high-pressure, fast-paced environment where they argued fiercely over every idea. After the sale, the top leaders and many early employees left the company one by one. This group of people had become incredibly wealthy and had learned exactly how to build and scale a tech company under extreme pressure. Instead of retiring, they used their money and experience to start or fund almost every major tech company we use today. This group became known as the PayPal Mafia because of their incredible influence and how they supported each other's new ventures. Jawed Karim, Steve Chen, and Chad Hurley left PayPal to start YouTube. Reid Hoffman founded LinkedIn. Russell Simmons and Jeremy Stoppelman co-founded Yelp. Max Levchin started Affirm, and Peter Thiel became the first outside investor in Facebook before starting Palantir. Elon Musk took his $160 million from the sale and started SpaceX and Tesla. He even eventually bought Twitter and renamed it X, finally fulfilling his original vision for the X.com domain. The story of PayPal is a perfect example of how a messy, chaotic business can change the world. They didn't start with a perfect plan, and they nearly destroyed themselves multiple times with internal coups and legal battles. But by focusing on simple email payments and building a system that was faster than the banks, they revolutionized how we use money. Today, PayPal is an independent company again, and is worth many times more than it was when eBay bought it. The legacy of the PayPal Mafia shows that the people behind a company are often more important than the product itself. They proved that a small group of brilliant weirdos could survive hackers, lawsuits, and near-death experiences to reshape the entire internet. PayPal wasn't just a way to send money, it was a training ground for the leaders who would build the modern digital world. Whether you're watching a video on YouTube, scrolling through LinkedIn, or seeing a SpaceX rocket launch, you are seeing the direct result of a startup fight that began in a small office in Palo Alto. The PayPal Mafia didn't just build a successful company, they became the blueprint for the entire Silicon Valley ecosystem.